Here it is. It's a special Tuesday edition of Baccarat Right Opinions show. Oh man, I'm getting whited out by my new lights. Should get my ring light. I finally got one. The kids gave me one after I've been streaming for years without one. But anyway, we got Packers who lost, or did they lose? We got people complaining about officials, but come on, people, really? You're going to complain about the officials? Should we complain? The Packers got a lot of calls. You said it last week. Packers over the years and in recent years, Lions got jobbed left and right. Packers got some calls that helped them win plenty of games. Should we be complaining? I mean, there were some obvious things. Darius Smith hit Jordan Love in the head. Xavier McKinney's helmet didn't just fly off by itself. Some other stuff happened, but
that was not a freaking pass interference on Christian Watson. That was bullshit.
Right.
On the rub route. It wasn't a rub route.
Right. It was garbage. And then
guy flopped.
Also that one PI called on like Keyshawn Nixon. If that's pass interference, Jair Alexander can't cover anybody ever because he does it every single play. So come on. So do a million of the cornerbacks, like most of the cornerbacks in the league, do way more than that on every.
Then there was the play with Skipper when Quay Walker touched him, and then apparently it was so powerful that Skipper just went flying. It was amazing.
So there was some stuff.
But even with all that, though, the Packers didn't deserve to win the game because they played like crap.
Absolutely not. The Packers did not. The only reason the Packers had a chance to win the game is because Dan Campbell is crazy and did some dumb stuff. Well, and I don't care. I've got people saying he's a genius for going for it on fourth down. No.
They got 2 touchdowns on fourth downs.
I'm not saying that.
And they got a first down on fourth down.
But there were 2. The fourth down at your own 31-yard line, dumb.
That was dumb. When you have the lead, that was dumb. Yes.
And also the end of the game, fourth down, was also dumb. No. Like, yes, it should have cost them the game. I totally disagree with going for it on the, because if they don't get it, they don't get anything, and they give the Packers a chance to win with just a field goal. Are you kidding me?
But what was it? Was it at 4th and 1?
Yeah, but they had just lost yards on third down. Like they got pushed back on third. It was third and like a foot, and then they lost yards. And so then it was like 4th and a yard and a half.
It's the Packers D. They would have got it just fine.
I don't know. Not the way Kenneth Clark.
And they did get it. And they did get it just fine.
Kenneth Clark. That might be Kenny Clark's best game of his life, or at least his Packer career.
It looked really good on the TV tape. And then when you watch the All-22, it's not quite as good as you thought.
What?
Just a heads up.
That was the most he's flashed since back in the day when the high school girls were like, Kenny, show us here. Anyway, never mind. What? All right.
What?
I haven't even had any beer yet. I'm just so excited that Kenny Clark played and almost looked kind of good for once in his first time in 9 years. I'm so excited.
I already don't feel good. And all this talk about Kenny Clark makes me want to puke more. So can we stop?
All right, let's go. Let's get to it. Thoughts, reflections on the game. Other than I just did a barrage at you, but that was my mental download from all the things I've been hearing in the last week to what I thought to what, overall is like, come on. Coming out of that game, how do you feel about the Packers? Do you feel any differently? You don't feel worse, right?
This is what I want to know.
Yeah, tell me.
Last I checked, when you pay a guy $55 million a year,
are you on that again? The $55 million?
Don't you want to put the game in his hands? 12 completions on 20 passes, and somehow you still scored 30 points. God knows how. When Josh Jacobs had 2-point-something yards per carry,
because they had short fields all the time.
I understand that, but they also didn't. I don't know. It's weird. I got some videos to show. I don't want to spend all day on them, but I do want to show some Jordan Love videos because it's getting to the point now where I'm wondering exactly what he's doing out there.
No, already?
Because it's not like this is the NFL.
Yeah.
So you have to, make something happen.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, crap. Now I don't know where it is.
Most guys do. Sam Darnold did.
Oh, here we go.
Damn, Sam Darnold, 5 touchdowns, no picks.
Sam Darnold. We're talking about
I'm just saying.
other things.
Anyway.
Talking about Jordan Love, man.
Jordan Love. Okay, look.
What do you say about it?
So, all right. So this was very clear early on in the game against the Lions. The Packers could not pass protect against a not good pass rushing Lions team, yet they were doing pretty good when they ran the ball or attempted to run the ball. It was at least effective.
No.
It was better than when they were trying to pass it. So then they finally turned it over to the run game, and it was better. Now, the questions I have are, how does Jane Reed get no targets or no plays set up for him? How is Tucker Kraft? Yes, he got the touchdown pass, but really still not a guy that you went to enough. And how do you keep not doing that? And then I'm also just like, the inside guys were getting whooped for a while there in pass protection.
Well,
it was bad. And you needed to get, like, I almost feel, to me, I feel like Sean Ryan needs to get some run blocks in to get him like into the game. So then he could do some of the other stuff he has to do too. But if you just put him in pass sets, like right out of the gate, I don't know. Maybe he's just not charged up enough or whatever, but like the dude needs to get some lean on some guys, push some guys around before he can be really effective. And so I think you should run the ball more early on. And that's was my biggest problem with the way they started this game. They weren't running it enough.
But they ran it all game and they couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs did all right. I'm going to look up the average. I don't remember what it is. I'll look it up.
It was bad. Why don't you share the screen so I can show some videos?
All right. You show some videos.
Tell me what it's up.
Oh,
I don't know.
Man. It's up. It's up. It's up.
All right. Let's watch some great love. This is Jordan Love being awesome on this play. It's in half speed, but this is the play where he gets pressure right away. He avoids it, steps up in the pocket, and hits Christian Watson on across the field, middle across the field. Because Josh Jacobs had a pathetic pass protection there. And 46 is coming in. That must be Campbell, I think, or the rookie from last year, second year guy from this year.
Yeah, it's Campbell.
Now it's on play action, so Josh Jacobs, it's hard to get over there.
Yeah.
But Love makes a miss and then throws a ball. And this guy's right on Christian Watson. Look how close this is.
Yeah. That's a good throw.
So I think in a time where Jordan Love isn't thinking, like he just goes back and just plays and like, oh, I avoided the guy. I'm stepping up and I'm throwing, right? I think he does great. I think his issue is when he has to think. Like, I think he just looks at the defense and he's turning into Aaron Rodgers.
No, don't.
Except there's no good part of it.
Oh, come on.
And when you watch it from this angle, you're going to see it looks awesome. And they're pointing stuff out.
Zach Tom had a rough game too. And that's
he had a good PFT or PF, whatever, PTF, whatever the heck it's called.
I saw him
PFF
get beat
grade.
a lot and get pushed around a lot. And
here he's not blocking anybody.
Yeah, what the hell is he doing on this play? Like, what are we doing?
And what's Jenkins doing? Nothing.
Yeah, what's that line protection? That seems weird.
So
there's my guy Bo, running deep, clearing out space.
And I'm going to show you some plays where Bo Melton was open and should have got the ball.
I'm sure he should have. He never gets the ball, but he's
now we got Love Stinks.
Oh,
Love Stinks, written by a little child, because that's kind of what he plays like, as a little child.
Yeah.
Now let's just watch. This is the first play of the game. Boom, back foot, hit your back foot. Take a look at downfield. Look by where the lion is at the 45, 50-yard line. You've got Christian Watson coming across the middle of the field.
Yep.
You got Jaden Reed going deep here. The safety is at the 55. This ball should be out and thrown to the 45-yard line to Christian Watson on this crossing route. The ball should be out now and thrown right on the hash right now. He has nobody in his face. There's no pressure. Hit your back foot, throw the ball. Even if he doesn't like this, which I don't know why he doesn't like it, because this is wide ass open.
I like it.
You got Josh Jacobs down here who's open. If you don't like this over here, because I think it's first down or something. Maybe it's third. I don't remember. Or maybe I think it was first play of the game, but I could be wrong. Anyways, but look at this. Look how open this is. But
yeah,
and Love's looking at it, but he doesn't throw it.
Oh,
I mean, what's he doing? And then it's a sack.
I don't know.
Now that's not even an attempt on that play. Now here's another play. And I just showed you a play where Christian Watson had a guy on his heels, and Love avoided the rush, threw a perfect pass, almost perfect, pretty dang good pass.
Yep.
To him when he was really tightly covered. And that play, he would have been wide ass open. Hit your back foot, throw the damn ball. Now let's watch this one. Same type of thing. He's hitting his back foot. Now, as you're seeing, they're playing man coverage here.
Mm-hmm.
And then but they have zone in the middle here. I don't know what's going on, but you got covered on top, covered here. Christian Watson is covered, but he's being trailed by 0. Okay. His route is going to come across over here to the 40-yard line. And the linebackers are in front of the first down marker with Tucker Kraft right here.
Mm-hmm.
And both of these corners, the one covering Dontavian Wicks and the one on the top of screen covering Jaden Reed, have their backs to the ball, which means, and look, if you look up here at the safety, all the way at the 30-yard line, he is racing backwards.
Yep.
You throw this ball right here to the 40-yard line, right where the 4 and the O are, or maybe a little bit before that. Christian Watson will come across the field, catch it right there. These guys have no idea where the ball is because they're worried about covering their man-to-man coverage. As a quarterback, you should see man-to-man, man-to-man. And you have Christian Watson being covered man-to-man on a deep crossing route. I'm pretty sure Christian Watson is going to beat that guy. But Jordan Love doesn't throw that. And now look at what happens. Just like I said, where does Jordan Love throw the ball? He throws to Dontavian Wicks on this side, who's not as fast as Christian Watson on a crossing route, and with guys in his face. And had he thrown the ball when he should have, which would have been, here, let's go back to where he should have threw it. Hit your foot now. He should have threw it right there. Right now you throw it to Christian Watson right here at the 40-yard line. That's where you throw the ball. You got a good enough pocket. You don't have anybody in your face. Christian Watson's got his guy beat. I would trust Christian Watson on a crossing route more than Dontavian Wicks because of speed. And you should know what you guys have. Instead, he throws a ball where he's pressured to Dontavian Wicks, which isn't even close. What are we doing? And it's a deep mesh concept. Okay, what do you got to say? Go ahead.
Well, if I'm remembering correctly, wasn't one of the things Jordan Love kind of stood out last year in his first year as a starter was throwing the ball with anticipation a lot?
Sometimes.
Okay. I feel like he did a pretty good job of that. This is one where you have to do it. Like you just, and it's also like you're saying, like I get that right now, if you look at it, that defender is right there where you're going to throw the ball, but you also know that he's man on man and Wicks, and he's just going to keep following Wicks.
Well, also
so, throw it.
Like Watson's already got his guy beat by 2 yards.
Right.
Like if you look downfield and you scan the field, you can see that.
I guess you can just drill it in there right now, right in the middle if you want.
Yeah.
That's better.
But instead he throws that freaking crap off his back foot. That's just, or when he's flying in the air and it's not even close. Okay. Now here's another play. Very similar. Now on this play, Tucker Kraft is going to be open and he throws it to Tucker Kraft. But Dontavian Wicks does a juke to the outside, cuts back again this way. Now there's 3 guys deep in this zone. This is first and a 20 because they had a penalty of some kind. So it's first down from the 35. The actual first down to get is not until a 15-yard line. So it's first down. And I don't have a problem with this one as much. But he's already thrown the ball. And based on the route combinations, if Dontavian Wicks, Now, I don't know what he's supposed to do. Maybe he's supposed to just sit here. If he's just supposed to sit here, he still could throw it. And we get 15 yards. And he throws a Tucker Kraft, and I don't have a problem with throwing a Tucker Kraft, but it's first down and 20, and you're only getting 5 yards. And the Lions don't screw around. They come up and they hit him right away. But if Dontavian Wicks, if this is a crossing route over to this point to the 20, well, guess what? That's a first down because this this safety ain't going to get over there, and this linebacker doesn't know where the hell he is. So this one I'm not as egregious, right? But by the time the ball gets there, because let's take a look at his throw too. Let's watch his throw.
Right behind him, slows him down, spins him around.
Watch how he releases the ball. I don't know. It just doesn't have a lot of zip on it.
No.
And the other thing that's great, I want you to watch these defensive backs for the Lions. They were moving before the ball was even thrown almost, but right when it was thrown. Now, this is the missed touchdown pass where he just, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was up with that either. I was like,
what the hell?
What's happening?
Now, I will say this. Branch is a good player, and he read it right away, right? And he like when you watch Branch on this, because in the other times when we ran this play, the safety dude didn't go over there right away, right? Tucker Kraft was wide open. This one, Branch read it, and he, but he's still yelling at his teammates, like, guys, what the crap? If Jordan Love didn't suck, it would have been a touchdown, right? Now, it was a touchdown later. Now, here's the flea flicker, I think.
I hate it.
Which was just stupid, and it went way too fast. Like, you can't, you have to pretend, you have to get into the line of scrimmage sooner to drive everybody up and then flip it back.
These guys are 8 yards downfield, and you're already pitched it back to the quarterback. Yeah, like, that's not an effective flea flicker at all.
No, it's not good at all. But here's the other part. Watch this. Look at Dontavian Wicks.
Wicks got some opening.
Look at his defender falling over. And
yeah,
it looks to me like Love is looking at it. It looks to me like he's looking at it. And here's the other thing. Look at 31. Joseph running backwards. And Christian Watson's coming across. Both of these guys are open. Why isn't the ball thrown? He doesn't have pressure at this point. I don't understand. Now he throws it as he's getting hit. To who? I don't know. It got tipped or whatever happened. But, let's take a look at the play one more time and then just be like, you have to understand, I don't know. It seems to me like I don't know if he's thinking too much. He's not seeing it all the way. Like, you hit your back foot right, boom, that's your throw. But he's still hopping and hopping.
I mean, Wicks is
open. The ball should be gone. Yes.
Yeah.
The ball should be thrown by now.
Yep.
I don't know. And then I don't know what happened when he did throw it. I guess I can't remember. Or he faked it. That's right. He pump faked it for some. Why did he pump fake that?
I don't know, because Watson was open there too. If that's what he was waiting on Watson too long. That is confusing.
Now I'm going to show you two plays at the end of the game. So he gets it here. I want to take a look at this. Okay. Now on this play, you got Zach Tom, you got Ryan, you got a pretty good solid wall over here with these two guys. You got Brooks coming out of the backfield and linebacker going with him. Jordan Love, this is second down, by the way. Jordan Love could run for a couple yards here to get some extra yards. He chooses not to. He sits in the pocket. And by that time, it's too long. And he's got to throw some shit off his back foot in the middle of nowhere. And it's just a wasted down where he could have obviously ran forward right away and got a couple extra yards to move it further and see what happens. Now, this was after the bullshit penalty, I think, on Christian Watson. Now, here's the very next play. It's third down and goal because you had the penalty from the 16-yard line. After this, it's only fourth down. You need to either kick a field goal on fourth down or score right now. On this play, within 1 second, Jordan Love decides to run. What does he think? Is he think he's going to get a touchdown? Is he going to run for 16 yards?
I was confused.
So he doesn't run on second down to get a couple extra yards, which would have been nice. And then here on third down, he decides, oh, I'm going to run now.
Yeah, there's no way he's getting.
And what did he think he was going to do? Yeah. I mean, that was pathetic. That was third down. That's the time where you sit there and wait and try to get somebody open and throw the ball. You don't run it on third and 16, third and goal from the 16. It's just dumb. I don't know what to tell you. This is nothing like Aaron Rodgers in his second year as a starter. And people want to compare and contrast and all these other things. And they're talking about how, Jordan Love or the receivers, Aaron Rodgers had better receivers, and he did. I will say that. When you compare, Donald Driver and Greg Jennings, just alone, those two, and the dynamics of Jermichael Finley and a solid James Jones, and then you had Jordy, the year after that, there ain't a lot of drop balls and stuff like that there. The guys he has now, you want to hear a weird stat that I heard from Andy Herman earlier this week?
Sure.
Jaden Reed has 9 drops this season alone.
Really? Wow.
Christian Watson has 8 drops his entire career.
Come on.
I know. But us as fans think of Christian Watson as the drop guy because he keeps dropping these wide open super bombs that are deep, that are 45-yard bombs that he drops, right? So we remember those because those should have been a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
What we don't remember is that Jaden Reed has got more drops just this season than he has his whole career. And Octavian Wicks, who knows how many he's got this year? Maybe 11? I don't even know.
Yeah, that's rough. Although lately he's been better for whatever reason. Like the last 2 games.
Well, he still had to drop one of these games. But
yeah,
what I'm trying to show there is I think Love's afraid. I think he threw 11 picks early in the year. And now he's like, or maybe LaFleur told him, hey, stop throwing picks. Be more careful with the ball, blah, blah, blah. But he's not even throwing it when the guys are open, like when the pocket's there. And when you watch other quarterbacks, when you watch Kirk Cousins, who's not as good now, I know, but even Sam Darnold, even Aaron Rodgers on Sunday, they hit their back foot where it's going to go, and they throw the ball if the guy's open. Yeah. And I don't know what's going on. He's just not throwing the ball on plays that are big plays downfield. Like if you're going to run the ball as much as they do and do the play action and do the freaking flea flicker and whatever else, you got to take the shot when the guy's going to be open. The anticipation downfield is negligible at this point. It's just not happening. He doesn't do it. He doesn't see it, or he doesn't do it, or I don't know what's going on. But if you don't put pressure on the defense there, then they're going to keep boxing it up and stopping the run, which is what happened to us on Sunday, where we couldn't move the ball, running the ball that well. Great. I got a freaking sounds like
Thursday.
A battery beeping or something.
That's me.
Oh, that's you beeping?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I
thought me. No, I got to change my freaking smoke detector battery.
Okay, good. I'm glad it's not my battery.
I'll try to.
I haven't changed mine in a long time, to be honest. I probably got to do it one of these days.
This one gets you.
The light's still green. Anyway, so that's just something I was looking at when I was watching the film. I was like, I mean, it's only 4 plays or whatever, but it's like those could have been huge plays, and all those drives stopped or were stalled. The only one that didn't was the touchdown that should have been thrown to Tucker Kraft. Ended up being a touchdown run by Josh Jacobs later.
I will have you know, Josh Jacobs had 3.7 yards per carry.
Oh, okay. Edgar Bennett style. Okay.
But also some of those were short because they were short touchdown runs. So that you couldn't even get more than 1 yard on some of those.
Okay. Well, all I know is the guy's not throwing the ball.
I see it.
The guy's not throwing the ball. He needs to throw the ball. If you can't beat the good teams if you don't take some chances and take some shots. That's all I could say.
Ben. I mean, no picks though. Isn't that a good game? No picks means good game.
He had the highest PFF grade again.
Well, and look, Matt LaFleur says it too. The quarterback's number one job is to take care of the ball.
Not when you're a $55 million quarterback. Your number one job is to win the game. Your number one job is to make plays. Your number one job is to get the ball into the hands of the guys who are open to make the plays. Now, if Christian Watson wouldn't have fumbled on that crossing route that he took up field, then tried to jump over a guy like a dumbass instead of just running out of bounds, maybe the game would be different. Maybe we would have won. But that was a turnover that cost us.
Yeah.
And, but the Lions also turned the ball over. So there you go. But that's just my sense. My 2 cents is I'm not seeing Jordan Love at the end of the year last year was fearless. Like they had a training wheels on him for the first couple weeks, and then they were like, you know what, just go do your thing. And did he do something dumb at the very end when he threw it across his body in the playoff game against the 49ers? Yeah, he did.
Sure.
But up until that point, he was drilling it to guys who were barely open, and they were catching them, and it was awesome.
And now it's like over the middle of the field, which you have to do.
And now it just feels like I think he's just too afraid to throw a pick, or I don't know.
It could be pick-itis, right? Interception itis, because they started talking bad about you. Oh, he's got what's with Jordan Love and all these interceptions?
People are still talking bad about him. Chris Sims is saying that Matt LaFleur is calling the games trying to protect Jordan Love.
Well, those plays you showed weren't protecting him. He should have just thrown the ball. Those plays.
I know. But that's the thing is when you watch the game on the TV, you don't see all that.
That's true.
I'm sorry. The other thing, real quick, Andy Herman was saying that some people he knows said that the way the Lions played defense, they had no respect for the receivers. And maybe they were playing more man-to-man coverage. But as I showed you on those plays just now, guys got open. Love just didn't throw the ball.
That's what the Lions do. They play a lot of man, and currently the healthiest unit or healthiest group on their defense is their defensive backfield. So, that makes sense to me that they would play. That's what they do. They want to, and they needed to help out their run defense with the interior guys and the linebackers being so decimated. I mean, they were down to, what did they signed like guys just a couple days before, and they were playing already. Jamal Adams and another dude they had to throw in there at linebacker. I don't know what his full stats are for the year at this point or what he's done game by game, but pretty much every game, Emmanuel Wilson's looked pretty effective when given opportunities, right?
Yeah, I like him.
I mean, he got 1 carry in this game. Why? I mean, why? I get it. Josh Jacobs, 3 touchdowns. He had 18 carries, but even that's not a lot. Like Emmanuel Wilson can be an effective runner. Like, let's give him some opportunities, right? I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And he, like you said, I mean, he doesn't maybe have the top end speed to break away as much, but he does have a really good acceleration once he knows where he's going. And he's shifty enough that he's proven to like create some big runs, like 20-yard runs that you just don't see otherwise from most of the other guys. So the fact you only give him 1 carry in this game, 1 carry, 7 yards. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it.
It makes no sense.
And I don't like it. Are we, so overall though, the offense didn't do a ton, but they were in position to win the game because the Lions took too many chances and also gave them, they got one pick, good pick by Keyshawn there. I don't know. Before we move off of it though, my man Bo plays his ass off. And I think he's in on most of the plays, or many, many plays. Doesn't hardly get a sniff of targets. Nobody looks his way. Blocks as hard as he can. Tackles guys on special teams. And what I thought was interesting is the Packers recently did they do these things where the players come through and answer some question that's on a board or whatever, right? And they put out these videos. And one thing was like, who you call in like an emergency, or if you need help or whatever, or someone you can count on, when you really need somebody. Like multiple guys said Bo Melton. Multiple players that went through. Some of them were like, none of these guys, like joking around and stuff. But multiple guys were like, oh, Bo Melton. Bo Melton. I'm calling Bo Melton. Like, he's an awesome dude. And he plays hard. And he's got value to the team. Yet you don't even give him many opportunities? I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I don't know where all this is going with these receivers and what the Packers are thinking, forecasting for who they actually want to keep and invest in second contracts and who they don't. But
I don't know.
I'm hoping they make the right decisions, because they could tie up a lot of money in certain guys. And if they pick the wrong guys, it could hurt them for years to come, because the way receivers contracts are now, it's pretty damaging unless you have outs, pretty quick. But if these are like second contracts, first big contract for a receiver, like I would assume their agents are going to tie those contracts up pretty good, that they're going to get at least some good guaranteed money, right? Where you'd have to hang on to them for at least 2-3 years. But
yeah,
anyway, that's future projection. I'm just a little concerned about it. I love my guy, Bo. I appreciate him. Apparently a lot of his teammates do too. And hopefully he gets a little chance to be part of the offense again soon. Defensively, Ben, is your Kenny Clark video coming up? 8 tackles in this game for Kenny Clark, Ben. 8 tackles for Kenneth Clark in one game. That was like a fourth of the tackles for his whole season most of the time. In this one game.
It's the fourth of his tackles. It's his whole tackles like this season already. It was 8. Now he has 8 more. So he has 16 total, I think.
But I do know that another guy was flying around making plays, and you got video on him right now. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. Andy Herman, and I like Andy Herman. He's been saying that McDuffie has been playing bad. And it's a lie. And I will show you the video. It's a lie. I don't know why he's saying it. I don't understand it. He's saying he's bad in coverage. And I'm like, no, he's not. Then he's saying, oh, they have to blitz McDuffie because he's so bad in coverage. That's why he blitzed so much in this game. And I'm like, okay, well, why don't we watch some film on him and we'll see what really happened here. So all we're going to do is we're just going to watch McDuffie. These are 4 plays that are awesome. Here he is lined up here, just behind TJ Slayton, right about where the camera is coming in right now. He's going to come from this side. The ball, okay, boom. The ball's thrown. McDuffie is still at the hash mark, everybody. I want you to understand where McDuffie is on this play. He's at the hash mark. There's 1, 2, 3 offensive linemen between him and the ball carrier at this point. There's 1 blocker here blocking, I don't know who, probably Evan Williams or something. I don't know. And I think it's Valentine or somebody over here. Or Keyshawn Nixon. I don't know. But who do you think is going to make the play on this?
Yeah, it looks like Keyshawn.
It sure is like it could be McDuffie, right? Because he's way over there. He couldn't possibly make the play. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's the guy who makes the play. Yeah, he is. But he sucks. He just went through a blocker to make the play. Now where is he? He's right here in the middle. On the hash mark. He's going to get off the block right away. Make the tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a gain of a couple yards? Yeah. He had to run through some crap. Now he's down here.
And he's not as fast as Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, just heads up. But
no, that's the thing.
None of these guys are. So what do you want?
Now he's in coverage.
Mm-hmm.
And who is he covering? He's covering St. Brown, one of the highest paid receivers in the league. And Jared Goff says, ooh, I'm not going after McDuffie. I'm going to dump it over here to Montgomery. And Keyshawn Nixon's supposed to be the guy covering Montgomery. Between Montgomery and McDuffie is St. Brown. But guess who gets his ass over there and sprints? And Keyshawn's there. But he's there to help. make the play for no gain. Had Keyshawn been able, you think Keyshawn would have been able to stop Montgomery on his own? Probably not.
Maybe Keyshawn's the only corner that maybe would have that we have on this team.
Now let's watch this play. If you look at the top of the screen, you got a tight end coming up here. I think it's Laporta. He's gonna at the 5-yard mark. He's gonna shove McDuffie, which is offensive pass interference.
Sure,
and it's not called. Here's the other great thing about this play. You got another tight end who's coming over this way. You got Jahmyr Gibbs who's going to the flat, and there's nobody to cover him. But let's watch McDuffie. He gets shoved by Laporta and still goes over and makes a tackle on Gibbs in the flat for only a 1-yard gain.
It's pretty good.
But McDuffie sucks?
No.
Looked pretty good to me.
Well, Jeff Havley knows. Jeff Havley knows he's good because he keeps putting him out there. So
right. And this is just a compilation of awesome run plays. Here's TJ Slayton getting off the block and just fattening the guy, just getting his fat on him and smacking him. Because we stopped the run amazingly in this game.
Yeah.
Like, we did a great job. Now, if we could have just stopped the pass, that would have been great too.
Right.
Here's another play. Look at this.
Carl Brooks, blow him up.
Carl Brooks, but it's also let's take a look here. It's hustle from Van Ness.
Yep.
With Preston Smith gone, guess what? We have a guy who's actually fast enough who, when he barely gets blocked, he can get over there in time and make a tackle. As well as a bunch of guys holding a wall over here, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
And look at Skipper got all mad because he let Van Ness go. Now here's the very next play. Watch Van Ness on this one. He shoestring tackles. This is the very next play. So 2 plays in a row, Van Ness makes tackles to stop him on. This is on 3rd down now, or maybe it's 2nd. I don't know. But they stop. They have the punt eventually on this drive. But we're gonna watch Van Ness is the down lineman on the top of the screen. He's gonna get double teamed.
Damn,
get off the double team, split the double team, put his hand out, trip him up.
Okay.
Now, there's a wall of defenders there to help, but he took on the double team, split it, got his hand on the guy's ankle to help make the tackle.
That might be the most impressive play I've seen from him as a pro.
Well, it's pretty good.
To be honest. I mean,
here's another good defensive play. I think it's Kenny Clark on this one, but it could be Carl. This might be Carl Brooks when he just splits through the middle. Oh, it's Kenny Clark.
I think Kenny Clark must have had something.
Clark. He just ate up Ragdow and then just freaking fatted the guy.
He took a shot of something before this game. This is not a Kenny Clark I've ever seen before. Running dudes down, like pursuing, blowing up blocks.
It's some good stuff. Here's another good run play.
I've never seen it.
Van Ness gets in the backfield. This is where Evan Williams gets concussed. Unfortunately, he did a great job stopping him on 2nd down and long. Now it's 3rd and long.
Dumbass, like, come on, Valentine.
Yeah, Valentine's got too much Jair in him.
Yes, don't do dumb shit. What are you doing?
And this is the very next play. Here's Colby Wooden getting off the ball, beating a guy right away.
Oh, that was
the backfield. Now, I wish he would have kept his feet going instead of just fattening them. Because if you keep your feet going, then you have the aggressiveness and you make more plays. Here, this was Devontae Wyatt. I love Devontae Wyatt on this play. He's going to fool him to the inside and then break back. Watch, he's going to be on the inside and then break back to the outside. And make the play. Now, this is slow motion. So imagine how fast that is in real time.
Yep.
But see how he sat on the inside shoulder of the lineman?
Yeah.
And then that made the running back want to cut back to the outside. And then he just shed him and went back to the outside and made the tackle.
Yeah. Good.
So that's some really, really great stuff, and that's why the more you want to watch the defensive line in this game against the run, it was watching the film back was fun. There was a couple plays. Yeah, they screwed up. There's one play where Carl Brooks just got way too much penetration and gave up his gap. And then it was a big 20-yard run and stuff like that. And that happened too. But the bigger issues in this game were definitely in pass protection. Or not pass protection, but pass defense. That was a huge, just a lot of like dumb things where like there were 2 guys covering one guy. Like they go back in their zone, and then like Quay Walker is standing next to, like Evans for some reason, or Evan Williams, and then there'll be another play where he goes back and he's standing next to Eric Wilson, and they're both covering the same guy, and then right behind him there's somebody going scot-free in the back behind him, and you're like, what is going on here? There's a lot of miscommunication and weird stuff going on. So that's just something I saw that was interesting on there, but whatever.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I will say that too. At least watching the game, Clay Walker seemed to be more assertive again, kind of reading stuff quicker, pursuing to the ball. Like, I don't know. So if he keeps that up, then good. Then he's kind of doing what he should be doing. And I'm fine with him being on the field, but I mean, at this point, I know the injuries also are definitely dictating they need him out there and they need him to play like this. But it's been drastically different the last couple of weeks from what we saw most of the season from him. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what changed, but hopefully he keeps it up because we're going to need that kind of play from him. I still don't get how people poo-poo McDuffie. And I see more of these articles too, like 5 players who are in their last, season with the Packers and saying McDuffie for sure is one of them and all this sort of stuff. And I'm just like, why? Like, all the dude has ever been has been available, consistent, a great special teams guy, showing he can play linebacker and defense, either as a starter or as a guy that fills in when you have injuries. And he was a 6th-round pick. So as a second contract veteran, he's going to be pretty damn cheap. Right? So why wouldn't you sign that guy back? I don't get why it's so many people think it's predetermined that he's just gone after this year. But I hope they can pull some stuff out of their ass and maybe win it while he's on the team then, because I do want to see him get his chance to succeed and maybe get a bigger contract. Then if the Packers aren't going to give it to him, maybe somebody else will. But anyway, what about the Ben? These injuries, is it a thing? Somebody tell me, like, why is this a thing in all teams where defensive backs get injured this much? Or is it just the Packers seem to find defensive backs to get injured all the time? Like, I mean, come on, Evan Williams is back, then he's out, Bullard's out. You already got Jair who can't play most of the games. Stokes is injured in and out. Like, why do we have so many defensive backs that are injured all the time? I just don't get it. Especially when most of those guys aren't that physical. I really don't get it.
There's other guys that have been injured too throughout the league. It's nothing. I mean,
I think it, but
maybe it's a little worse for us, but I mean, I think the Lions had guys that were down. They were just picking up guys off the street to play. Same thing,
It's why it pisses me off. It's why it pisses me off even more. We're just going to throw this up from Lee. McDuffie, solid, reliable. Really likes that. But really pisses me off, as William G points out, the Rasul Douglas trade looking even worse right now. It's like,
well, Rasul never was injured ever.
Never hurt. Always available, right? And just was an effective player. No matter what you asked him to do. Play zone, play man, play physical, play off. Good balls, like great ball skills, great awareness, good tackler, and always available for you. Like, why was that I put it in a Facebook post because somebody put something out there, and I was like, I can't remember what the post was about. It was like either about Jair Alexander coming back or not being there, something, whatever. And I'm like, yeah. And this was a guy you gave away, a known commodity who did a bunch of things really well and was always available for you. All he did was make plays and produce and be on the field and do what he's supposed to do and do more than what he's supposed to do because of his instincts. And you boasted about giving a 5th-round pick along with a good player, very good player, to get a 3rd-round pick. And the GM smug and boasting about it after the fact. Like, just, I don't know. It still just bothers the hell out of me to this day. Every time I think back to Brian Gutekunst's press conference after that, just pisses me off. He's such a smug ass. And you know what you did? You gave away a really good fucking player at a position that we continually can't find good players.
Yeah.
What an idiot. Sorry. It just pisses me off.
Definitely an idiot.
All right. I gotta adjust my lighting quick. I gotta get my beeping to stop. But what do you got coming up here? You got Lions
Just
zone
shows me. I'll go
defense?
through this. This is the Lion. I'm just showing one play of the Lions to show how they run a zone defense, and then I have a bunch of Packer zone, and it's a couple man, but defensive plays where we give up big plays in the passing game, and you'll see guys lined up next to each other, or they go back in a zone and they're in the same spot as another guy, and then there's just a big, huge hole because there's no one there. Miscommunication, stuff like that. So that's kind of what I got going on next. So just let me know when you're going to show, and then if you want to go do whatever you're going to do, and then come back in a little bit. So, but you got to tell me when I'm ready, because I don't know. Hello? He must have already gone. All right, we're up. Here we go. So the first play, this is just late in the game. What I want you to watch is you're going to see the linebackers here at about the 10-yard line. Right here, 46. Both of these guys, they're covering. 46 is going to go back about 5 yards. And then once this guy leaves his zone, he lets him go and he takes on a different player. So it's like a pass-off zone. See how he passes him off there? Because he knows he's got double safety help to the middle of the field. And everybody's covered, and there's no place for Jordan Love to go with the ball. And because they've got 6 guys in coverage on this play. But it's one of those things where everybody is stationary. Everybody has got their own spot that they're covering. When a guy comes in their spot, then they go and they get on him. And they don't just goof off and like look at him and not cover him. And yes, that was down near the end zone, so there's less space to work with. So here's a play. We'll just take a look at what happens. This is a big play when they really needed to get a stop here on 3rd down and 4. You're going to see this is where Jameson Williams comes across the field on the deep crossing route. And McKinney is really, really far back, like super far back. And I don't know why he's not attacking on this play. Because if you look at the top of the screen here, whoever's on the top, I don't know if it's Valentine or Keyshawn or whoever it is. I think it's Valentine.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's Stokes, whatever. Either way, like there's no way McKinney's going to be over there to help him make a play. But when you see Jameson Williams, who's one of the fastest players in the NFL, coming across your zone or coming across in front of you, he should make a beeline right now. He should be running as fast as he can. Not straight ahead, but at least at an angle toward like the sideline a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that's really weird is, I don't know why, but you got Evan Williams standing right here just behind McDuffie when McDuffie's covering here. So why is Evan Williams 2 yards from McDuffie? And like we got a triangle of guys here that are about 5 yards from each other.
Yeah, somebody screwed something up here.
Like Evan Williams should be back further. Right? And it's just weird. So. And you're going to see Jameson Williams come right behind him. And Goff throws it to him. And you're not going to see McKinney's just kind of sits. He's coming. But it's not fast enough.
Yeah, he waited.
And I don't know why he went back so far. There was nothing he was going to do on that deep route with especially when you see how far deep that the corner on the top of the screen went.
Right.
Here's another play. You got McKinney super deep again. And it's another thing. Like down here at the bottom of the screen, we got Eric Wilson and Quay Walker within 2 yards of each other, and Valentine. Mm-hmm. And there's only one receiver here. Now, I understand that they kept guys in for pass protection, right? There's a tight end right here who's blocking 53, and Montgomery's over here helping with the right tackle. And the first down marker is the 40-yard line. So they're even 5 yards back. So this play is a long developing play. The Lions kept max protection in, and they're attacking 15 to 20 yards downfield past where this zone is, because they know when Xavier McKinney goes way, way back, even though, I mean, look at this. The first down marker is right here.
That's crazy.
What is he doing? Why is he freaking 30 yards off the first down marker?
I mean, you're giving him like almost 20 yards of open field to work with right there.
But like there's the guys they go back in their zone and they just stand there. Yeah. And I understand there's 2 players that could possibly come out in routes. So like guys like, Eric Wilson, McDuffie, and whoever this is up here. I think it's Zane Anderson at this point in the game. I don't remember. But they have to look out in case these guys release to make the play, right? But there's got to be somebody who's in the middle of the field here. Like Xavier McKinney shouldn't take off and then have nothing here, like 10 yards, 20 yards, or 20 yards downfield. I think that Quay must have been supposed to be back here. Maybe
you would think so. You would think so.
And maybe when we bring it back to the start of the play, because he's lined up there at the start of the play.
Yeah,
like he's right here.
He has to be that must have been his spot to be.
And for some reason, he's going back over here.
Why he's drifting right?
And then there's a wide open, what are we doing, Quay? You should be there.
Yeah.
And now he's talking to McDuffie like McDuffie's fault. What are you talking about? McDuffie's lined up on the outside of you. Now, this is a totally different play because now Wilson and McDuffie have switched spots. And Quay's in the middle. Everybody's moving over. Look how tight these guys are. They're worried about the run. And they did a good job against the run.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same type of thing. On this same play, Quay Walker, or maybe this is the same play. I take it back. This might be the same play from a different angle because it looks very much the same.
Yeah, it is the same.
Okay,
yep.
It's the same play. But still, it just shows how, they're worried about the run and they're doing a good job against the run. But if you, there was nobody for Quay Walker to cover on the other side of the field.
Right.
Okay, now here, this is the one that really gets me.
What in the hell is going on?
It's play action. Okay, let's rewind a little bit. It's play action. But even before the play action happens, look at Quay Walker. The ball is in Jared Goff's hands.
Yeah.
Quay Walker continues to follow the running back.
Right.
And you might say, oh, maybe he has man coverage against the running back. Well, if he does, then why the hell would whoever this is, either McDuffie or Eric Wilson, be down here?
Right.
Because they let the tight end go.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a zone coverage of some sort. And once again, you have the, like a 5-yard, 10-yard zone with the corners on the outsides. Xavier McKinney, freaking 25 yards deep, and then a whole bunch of nothing in the middle. And not only that, because of this play action, it sucks up Quay Walker, who doesn't even know that the ball's still in Jared Goff's hands. And you're going to see him come all the way down. Look at this. Now you got McDuffie, Quay Walker, and Valentine covering absolutely nobody. And Laporta, who just went past all three of these guys, is going to be wide-ass open right here. And the only guy who could cover him is Zane Anderson, who has to cover St. Brown. And the play action fooled all these guys.
So let me just ask this, because if people are thinking that, if they're thinking, oh, well, Quay has, the back in man coverage. If that was the case, or if that were the case, then why, when you look at that play, what is McDuffie's responsibility supposed to be then in pass coverage? If that were the call, that Quay is like, okay, you got the back in man coverage, what would McDuffie's pass responsibility be on this defensive play? Just let it play once and then pause it once they're both next to each other, and tell me what that would be.
Also, when we start the play, let's take a look real quick.
It doesn't make sense.
You have 3 receivers on the top of the screen.
Yeah, so they're definitely playing
and the running back on that side. So if he would go to that side, you've only got 3 guys to cover 4 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, and then down here, you've only got Laporta on the bottom of the screen.
Yep.
And this play action is what sucks everybody. But you could tell from the start of it that it's, they're worried about the run. And this might be man coverage. I don't know. And if it's man coverage, one of these 2 guys screwed up. But even if it is,
I feel
who the hell's Valentine supposed to cover?
Right.
He should take Laporta then.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the guy who's the most on the edge of the line, who's the actual receiving threat, should be covered by the corner.
Unless it wasn't communicated, to him or whatever. But it's yeah, somebody's got to be on him. And why is
look at down here at the bottom of the screen? These 2 guys.
Why did Quay go to the flat? Why did Quay go to the flat? And so it either says to me that Quay Walker doesn't know what his assignments are. Because in that case, McDuffie is right at the flat. Why would the inside linebacker also go to the flat? Doesn't make any sense at all to me.
Yeah.
So that would also lead me to believe that so maybe Quay Walker has been flying around more, but he's screwing up a lot because he doesn't know what his assignments are. And that's a problem too. So let's fix it, Quay Walker. We need you to be better.
Now, this is the this is the Texas route or whatever they call it, where Gibbs is going to just come out like this and then cut back to the inside. And they're going to say, oh, McDuffie can't cover anybody. Okay, well, this is one of the fastest running backs in the NFL who was drafted in the first round. This is a linebacker drafted in the 6th round. And he's supposed to cover this guy on a 2-way go with no help in the middle of the field? Because here's the other thing. You got Quay Walker and you got McKinney, Zane Anderson. Look at this. There's 4 Packers within 2 yards of each other. And yes, there are 3 tight ends down here, right? Mm-hmm. 3 tight ends to cover, and there's 4 guys. I get it. And they're all bunched together, and you got to worry about the run and all this stuff. I understand that. But watch what happens to Quay Walker. They blitz him for some reason. So when they blitz Quay Walker from the middle of the field, you're putting McDuffie one-on-one against Gibbs. He's going to get beat to the outside or the inside. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have the foot speed. This is a terrible play call.
Well, anybody's going to get beat in that situation.
And, I mean, they really don't want Laporta to get the ball because there's 3 guys here.
I guess.
I mean, I know that there's also a tight end who stayed in to protect, but this is your type of stuff that just drives you nuts. I mean, look how wide open he is.
Well, it doesn't compute why McKinney would be down there as well.
I mean, the whole game, he's 25 yards back in the middle of the field. Why wouldn't he be in the middle of the field to help coverage on this play?
Right. Like, I don't understand. Like, why is he manning up against that tight end right there? Like, what is Wilson's responsibility here then? Nothing?
And what is Quay Walker's blitz going to do for us there?
Nothing.
It's a dumb call.
I guess it's a dumb call. It's just poorly executed.
How about this? Quay Walker? Since I'm going to say a few things here. Mm-hmm. When you're unabated to the quarterback and you have your eyes on the quarterback, you're watching him throw the ball. How about if you put your hands up?
Sure.
Put your hands up to block the ball. He doesn't put his hands up. He just runs. Try to at least get your hands in the way, bat the ball down. He does nothing. It's like our best players are like 3 guys. And Kenny Clark, for some reason, showed up in this game. Here's another one. This one I don't get. Here they blitz McDuffie. They've already been outnumbered here. They got 3 guys. Goff could throw to the 89 over here. He could ease because like who's McKinney and Keyshawn is running backwards. There's only 3 guys, and then of course Xavier McKinney, not McKinney. What did I say? Zane Anderson. But McKinney's 25 yards deep again, doing nothing.
Before you go much further, I'm just going to say this real quick. So, as you just showed, there were 3 guys to the right side of the formation, 1 pass catcher to the left side of the formation, right?
Yeah.
And we blitz a linebacker from the 3-person side, 3 receiver side.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't play football in high school, but we did have calls in defense that if there was a blitzer, basically the blitzer was from the weak side, right? Or if you had a blitz called from a side where you were overmatched in personnel with receivers, you basically either call off that blitz or you'd flip the blitz to the other side if they had favorable numbers. And that was just something the players would do. So at the NFL level, that should be like automatic, because you show me multiple plays here that I've seen where you have an outside linebacker on a side where there's basically nobody and a corner. So you have outside linebacker, corner, and then sometimes safety over there too. And the outside linebacker literally has nothing to do. Has nothing to do unless it's a run their way, which means that's the side you have an opportunity to do that. So if you have a blitz on, you would make that adjustment on the field and say, no, we're flipping this. This is a weak side blitz. This is a blitz from the side that gives us an advantage, not puts us at a disadvantage. And that's what those plays were doing by blitzing a guy off a side where you need him to be in coverage.
So that just, what that shows me is Jeff Hafley calls a play.
Uh-huh.
And the Packers, whoever it is, on the field after they see the alignment of the offense, because obviously they call the play before they know what the alignment is, right? What the formation is.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a check. Like Quay Walker doesn't have a check to change it, or Xavier McKinney doesn't have a check to change that play, even though there's 3 guys on the other side of the field over there causing a problem. And you only have a couple guys, and you're blitzing off of that side and causing a huge problem because you don't have enough guys to cover guys on that side of the field.
Yeah.
And here's another play. This is a totally different play, but it looks almost the same as before. As far as everybody's going after the run fake. You got Jameson Williams up here. You got somebody else coming this way, and there's only I don't even know who this is. I think that might be freaking Stokes. That's even worse.
Might be, yeah.
Well, I mean, look at this.
Yeah, because Keyshawn had to go play in the slot after Buller got hurt, and yikes. And then you had Stokes.
But I mean, look, what is going on? They're all jumping this play fake. Nobody's even worried about the play fake is to the short side of the field. They're giving up so much space to the the long side of the field. And I mean, this is just easy. How come we never have any plays that are this easy?
Right.
I mean, that's pathetic. That's 1st and 10. They got freaking 11 yards on 1st and 10 because everybody jumped on the play fake. Now, this is the Eric Stokes touchdown. And I don't blame Eric Stokes because he got schooled. Everybody bites on the play fake. And if you look at the bottom of the screen, 17, he does a double move. He totally just jukes him out of his shorts right here. A couple moves.
It's Eric Stokes. Come on. It's Eric Stokes. By now, but by now, no, but I know, but by now the Packers know what Eric Stokes can do and what he can't do. And what he can't do is change direction. So why in the world would you have him man on a guy on the outside with no help and that deep split? Like you have to adjust that. You can't put him in that position. These coaches say all the time that they're just trying to put their players in the best position to be successful, right? That's what they say all the time. And don't tell me they don't know. They know this. That's why they're not signing Stokes back. That's why he was benched. The only thing he can do is run straight fast. He can't change direction. You put him in that spot, it's an unwinnable spot for him. So it's disappointing. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. Those are his limitations. Packers should know by now. They should know what to do with him, what not to do with him. Disappointing. John's here. John, how you doing? Good to hear from you. Happy holidays to you as well. It was a nice Thanksgiving. We had a good Thanksgiving. Ben had an interesting Thanksgiving. And
that was fun. Oh, it's 3 days before Thanksgiving, but
no, but I mean, you had an interesting Thanksgiving hanging out with your father-in-law when everybody left and went to Wicked.
That was too.
There, John's back on it. John, look at this. Your Bills, man. I know they lost a wild one yesterday, but man, doing well. Things are going well. Defense plays like madmen, and except whatever Sunday they gave up 40-some points. But Josh Allen playing pretty damn good this year. Might be MVP. We'll see. All right. What else you got here from the Packers? While we're paused, one just thing that's making me insane watching all this. Watching these alignments, watching where the holes are in the Packers defense, and watching where the lines are exploiting that. In this offense, Ben, right? In this offense, what is something that's a staple of this type of offense? What is a pass pattern especially off of play action? What's something that's a staple of an offense, especially off of play action for something like this? And is also happens to be the thing that Jared Goff is best at in all of, his type of throws.
I don't know. Deep crosser route.
Yes. 15 to 20 yard patterns over the middle. And for whatever reason, when Xavier McKinney is going back to like 30 yards deep and the linebackers are at 5 yards, that's exactly what you're leaving wide open.
Yeah. I mean, McKinney is pretty much useless.
So So I don't understand the defensive calls. The Lions, what they're best at is throwing patterns. How many times do they do it? St. Brown, where does he make his money? Over the middle. Laporta, over the middle. Jameson Williams, instead of running them on fly patterns, look at what he's doing in this game. Catching balls over the middle, 20 yards deep. Why is your defense not taking away what they're best at? Why? I mean, just the alignment and the call itself looks like it's literally trying to take away the outsides in the flat, but leaving the middle wide open. It's making me crazy. Watch it. Sorry, continue on.
Well, this is the worst play I've ever seen. You're going to watch Valentine. I don't know what he's supposed to do on this play, but for some unknown reason, he's going to go from his position that he's at right now at the very bottom of the screen. He's the corner in the bottom of the screen. He's going to go backwards 5 yards, watch the tight end go into a crossing route, decide that he has to cover that tight end, so he runs to the middle of the field. And when he does that, he vacates his zone, and you're going to see a receiver come from the top on a crossing route to that zone, wide ass open. So I don't quite know what's going on here. I don't know what this call is. As you can see here, McDuffie is blitzing. You see Laporta coming down low. McKinney comes and takes in, standing right next to Valentine. What good is this? What good are these two guys standing? What does that do? I don't know. As the play develops, now you got Laporta screaming across the field, and on the 7 yards away,
you told me Valentine's supposed to cover him.
Valentine is screaming to try to catch up to Laporta, even though Quay Walker is right here. Now, I showed you earlier at the beginning of this video, the Lions, when a guy was in their zone, they covered them. And then when they kind of left their zone, they let him go and then switched to another guy. And then that other guy picked him up.
That's how
why is Quay Walker not picking up Laporta on this immediately? Now, he does. He does. But why does Valentine feel like he has to sprint and go cover him? Because as you watch the play develop, McKinney covers this tight end. Laporta stops. And now you've got two guys covering Laporta here. And at the top of your screen is a wide receiver who's the 6'5" receiver who caught the touchdown against Stokes, being covered by Eric Wilson, with Zane Anderson way the crap back here. And here it is, like, it's like 2nd and 20 or 2nd and 17.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to be playing this shitty. Why is Valentine running all the way to the middle of the field? Look at him. And now you got St. Brown. This was the play. I think this was the last play of the game that got him into the field goal range to kick the field goal or something like that.
Where Keyshawn thought he kind of pushed off him a bit, which he did.
Which he did. Let's go back. We'll watch that at the top of the screen too.
Yeah, Keyshawn gets
He did push off.
Yep.
But can you imagine if Quay Walker was back in deep and Xavier McKinney went in motion to cover Laporta and Evans covered the tight end in the flat, and then Quay Walker was sitting at his deep shallow for the deep shallow cross to help out? He probably still would have missed it. But instead, let's watch from the very beginning again. Xavier McKinney is up here. He comes down and covers the guy going to the flat. Valentine goes backwards and then turns all the way across to the middle of the field to cover Laporta, who's lined up out here. So maybe it's man coverage and he's got him, right? They called man coverage. So because it's man coverage. Now, why did Valentine go backwards against a tight end? He's already going backwards. Look at him.
I don't understand.
And Eric Wilson does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
But there you go. St. Brown wide open because he pushed off the top of the route. So let's watch that too. We'll watch St. Brown run 15 yards and then just shove him. That's a shove. That's offensive pass interference.
100%. That got him open because Keyshawn has every right to that space just because he wasn't backing off.
But somehow they got away with that because I don't know. But the bottom line is, why the fart is Valentine backing up on a tight end? You think he'd be fast enough to cover a tight end? I know Laporte is pretty fast for a tight end, but he sure as hell ain't as fast as Valentine, I would assume.
Well, and if he's supposed to be man on that tight end, right? Then that should be a press coverage situation where he's like right up on him. You know, that should be what it is. And if it makes me question watching a bunch of these plays. Does Quay Walker know what he's supposed to be doing? Or is there freedom in this defense that's giving him, okay, Quay, it's kind of up to you what you do here. Maybe you rush, maybe you cover somebody, maybe you help out. I don't know what's happening, but he doesn't have a clear responsibility, or he doesn't know what his responsibility is.
Well, I'm going to say this. It's 2nd and 17 or 2nd and 18. They're out of field goal range right now, right? And they blitz McDuffie and play man coverage.
John.
When all they got to do is stop him from getting, like 10 yards and getting in field goal range, better field goal range. I don't know. It just made no sense. The play made no sense. The guys obviously didn't know what the hell they were doing or how to cover guys. These routes, these crossing routes, yeah, they're good against man coverage. And yeah, freaking St. Brown pushed off on Nixon. Should have been called. Wasn't. Yeah, Zadarius Smith freaking smacked Jordan Love in the face. Should have been called. Wasn't. Yeah, Xavier McKinney got his head knocked off by the freaking 17. Should have been called. Hands at face. Wasn't. Yeah, Christian Watson did not pick on the play. The guy flopped over and fell. He just ran his route. Shouldn't have been called, but it was. But I just showed you about 15 to 20 plays over the last 2 videos I've showed of just terrible defense, terrible coverage. Guys I don't know what they're doing. And Xavier McKinney is 25 yards back doing the freaking Darnell Savage. What use is this guy who's supposed to be a complete stud, who we're paying all this money to, 25 yards away from the ball? I don't get it. I know he's not a speedster,
right?
But at least have him be within 20 yards of the ball, or 15 or something. I don't know. It freaks me out because the defense looked so good against the run.
Yeah, they really did.
They gave up so many plays between that 10 to 15, 20-yard mark because they had that zone, everything in front of them for 8 yards. And then they had Xavier McKinney back 25 yards, and they had all that space in the middle. Constantly guys were in the same spot together and doing all the crap. So it's right. Weird.
It's just like I said before, it is literally the bread and butter of the Lions pass game. It's literally where they eat, where they live and die by. And that's the area within your defense of alignment and calls and where players went. That's the space you gave them every single time. It's mind-boggling that these players spend all this time on this, these coaches spend all this time on this, and you study your opponents and you come up with a game plan, and this is your game plan. We're going to make defensive calls that have a big ass hole in the middle of the field between 10 yards and 25 yards. Oh, gee, what do they like to do? Throw the ball between 15 and 20 yards over the middle of the field over and over again with St. Brown, with Laporta, now with Williams, with everybody. I mean, come on. What the hell are we doing here? So do you put this on the players? You put this on the coaches? The thing we don't know is, were there players messing up, or was that the full defensive calls? Based on some of those alignments where the players were clustered together, you'd think players screwed up. That's what it says to me, but we don't know for sure.
And it also could be that the Lions just are smart.
Well, yeah,
and they watch film and they're like, wow, these guys, when they play zone, if we line up a certain way, they don't change the way they line up. And we can take advantage of it because they don't have any checks and balances. So it's like,
ooh, John, okay.
What's that?
Well, John says you beat the Lions by blitzing from the cornerback spots.
Wow.
That could be the case if you had someone to cover for those spots that they vacate. But I really haven't.
Yeah.
The Packers haven't done corner blitzes at all in this scheme that I've seen.
Well, they sent Keyshawn.
Oh, Keyshawn. But was that from the inside or was that when he was outside corner?
I don't know.
I think that might have been in tight formation and there was really nobody on his side, or maybe just tight end on his side, and then he blitzed off the edge.
The only time you can blitz with a corner is if you're playing everybody within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Because they have to be able to pick up that receiver from that spot. Mm-hmm. And if you got Xavier McKinney 25 yards deep, you can't blitz for a corner on that play. Plus, the corners are back 8 yards. The corners are back 8 yards. The safety's back freaking 15, 20 yards. Then he goes back another 5 as soon as the ball snapped. It's ridiculous.
We've missed you too, John. We've missed you too.
Like, what are we so afraid of?
I don't know. I mean, that's the part we've talked about for years. We wish the Packers would stop playing afraid on defense, and this seemed to be the first time in years that they weren't playing afraid. And now we're back to being afraid. I don't quite get it. John, you need some vets back there. John, we gave away our vets. Oh no, well, we got one in McKinney, right? Who's going to be a core guy for this team for years. Well, just Ben, let's go over this real quick. And I don't want to poo-poo Xavier McKinney. That's fine.
You don't? Because I kind of do.
He's a good guy. I think he is some sort of leader that they don't otherwise wouldn't have.
You think he's a leader, huh?
I think he is some sort of leader. I'm not saying he's a great leader. But
I got some video.
If Xavier McKinney did not have the one interception called in when he actually didn't make it, he was actually out of bounds. If he didn't have a couple of guys just throw balls like dumb spots to him or whatever, just throwing it up there. Like a couple of them, he made good plays, right? But let's say at this point, he didn't have some of those gimme plays.
Mm-hmm.
And he had like 2 interceptions on the season.
Mm-hmm.
And then he played the way he does the rest of the time with his tackling and or lack of impact on the game. What would people say about him and that signing at this point?
Well, I would say that would be not a very good signing.
You mean that he'd be another overpaid guy for the
Packers? Yeah, but I also just showed you a bunch of plays where he just sat back 25 yards. It wasn't even part of the play.
That was like the ha-ha stuff or the savage stuff. That's what they used to do with those guys.
I can't blame him for that. You can't make a play if you're never near the ball.
Exactly, right.
But
you don't think he's as good as, well, he's definitely not as good as he's been hyped up to be with all the picks right away. Because again, people love sacks and they love picks. And yes, those are sometimes game-changing plays. Sometimes they aren't game-changing plays, but they look good in the stat sheet. But I'm more interested in the guys that continually show up, make plays, do things to stop the other team, stuff like that. That's what I want to see. Not in the Zadarius Smith, not in necessarily guys who get a bunch of picks but don't make tackles. Not really my gig. But what do you got here on Xavier McKinney?
You got the video?
Yep.
Let's just watch some Xavier McKinney plays here.
John, come on.
These are different plays than I've shown so far. So we got Xavier McKinney, who's down at the bottom of the screen at about the 36, 37-yard line. I don't know what happens on this play, but just watch him. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about.
Who's blitzing on that play? Or who's coming hard off the edge?
I don't know, but I'm not worried about that right now. What I am worried about is this. We just watch. Okay, let's take a look at this play. Xavier McKinney is playing it looks like some sort of cover 3, right? You got a corner on the top. You got the safety deep here. It looks like Zane Anderson. You got Xavier McKinney down here at about the 40, right?
Oh my God. Why is
the receiver
so fucking open again? Why is it so open?
What?
Why is the middle of the field wide open again?
This is what I'm trying to say. The receiver on the bottom of the screen was St. Brown, who is now on a shallow cross.
Yep.
Eric Stokes is doing nothing. McDuffie is trailing him, I guess. Now, there is 2 guys stayed in protection here because it's a max protection. There's only 3 guys in the route. But Xavier McKinney is running backwards on this play instead of trying to fill this gap or where the players are running. Like if I was playing this safety, I understand your zone is back here, right? And if he vacates the zone and then somehow a guy sneaks out, boy, that's really bad, right? But if I see St. Brown going across the field this way, I would kind of just stay shallow, maybe move to the middle of the field. I don't know. Maybe I'm not supposed to be able to do that. But look at him. He's running to the back of the field where there's already Zane Anderson, who is 25 yards deep.
Yep.
And look who's coming across the middle here, 17. And there is not a single soul here. Because our corners are doing nothing. Well, one of them's deep over here, but I don't know who this is here. This is probably Bullard or something. We got 3 guys covering one guy, St. Brown, and nobody covered 17. And it's a huge play. And what was Xavier McKinney doing on the play? Like, when you watch teams like the Steelers, the 49ers, any team that has a good defense or some safeties that make plays, they vacate their zone and they attack when a guy doesn't come into their zone. Here's another one. He's running deep. They're playing cover 2 deep. They're only sending 4 in the pass rush. You got 2 guys on the top of the screen covered by these 2, and then you got Zane Anderson deep. You got 3 guys down here, 3, and you got Xavier McKinney deep. I understand totally what's going on here, right? And at the bottom of your screen, I think this is Jameson Williams, who's really fast. So you got to be worried. I understand going deep on this play. But if you know Sam Laporte is being covered by McDuffie and there's no help in the middle of the field, couldn't you maybe come down? But he can't. And it's not his fault. This is not really a Xavier McKinney fault because look, I think the ball's already gone. But look at Stokes. Stokes has already let Jameson Williams go. So I think the balls have been thrown already.
Yeah. Yeah.
But McDuffie, people are saying, oh, McDuffie can't cover it. Well, he's covering like Laporta, who's freaking awesome. And he was actually on him the whole time. It wasn't like he was wide ass open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you watch that play, it's not like he's with them step for step. It was a great throw.
Yep.
I mean, look at him. He's on him.
Yeah, he's got his hands on him. He's slowing him down. It was a great catch.
What's McDuffie doing? Or what's Xavier McKinney doing?
Nothing.
He's no help. If your job is to help, get up there and help. Cut that off and pick it off. Make a play. Here he is at the top of the screen in a cover 2 again. How he stopped the run playing this much cover 2, I'll never know.
Right.
And look at this. When you see this, and now we got Quay Walker in the middle of the field. For once, we got the middle of the field covered, Jason.
Yeah, he actually backed up.
And guess what the Lions do? They
Throw
attack
underneath.
here because the Packers been doing this all game. They attack here, here.
Sure.
And Xavier McKinney is 25 yards off the ball. And, of course, they're attacking the flat, and all we've got is a corner there. So he has to look out for the flat. And guess who's there to cover this 15-yard out route? Nobody. Why is it McKinney there? Because he vacated 25 yards deep. What was the point of that? Now, is that Xavier McKinney's fault? Whose fault is it? Let's watch it again. You have a tight end and you have Jameson Williams here. Now, if it was me and I see Jameson Williams, I am running at him. But he's so afraid to get beat deep that he gives up a 15-yard play. Can you go and make a play? And look at his body language. See his head and his slumps? We're going to see a lot of plays like that. Now let's watch this play.
Are you more mad because he's wearing Rasul's old number?
Yes. What is this?
The number.
Let's watch this. This is what really bothers me. This is against the run. This is 4th down, I think.
All right. Before you...
No. What?
Even before you advance it, in run fucking defense, everybody has a gap or a responsibility. There is no way that 3 guys have the same gap.
Well, just wait. Not only is there 3 guys with the same gap. Watch this. Watch this. Look at that. That's the Packer defense. 1, 2, 3. They're doing the locomotion. 1, 2, 3. Let's do the locomotion with me. Yeah, we're doing that right now. That's what we're doing. The locomotion. 3 guys. Look at this giant hole to run through because Xavier McKinney was there.
Yeah.
Now, maybe it's man coverage, and he has this tight end who went to the outside to help block. I don't know. But it's short yardage situation. Use your damn head. This is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. This 3 guys in a row thing. And I don't understand it. I mean, look at that. That's short yardage. And the guy gets like freaking 15 yards. And look at Jared Goff. He's like, yeah, Packers are dumb. That's 4th down. That was a 4th down play. 4th and 1. Now we're going to watch dumb defense. We're just going to watch the plays go, and then we're going to watch Xavier McKinney at the end of the play. On some of them. Now, here's a screen pass. They killed us on these screens all day long.
Yeah.
Now, based on this screen, you got 1, 2 guys here, right? And only 1 blocker. You'd think maybe one of these 2 guys can make a play, but here's the problem. Eric Stokes is the one up here on top of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, he doesn't get there. He just stands and pussyfoots and gets blocked by his own guy, who is McDuffie. And they just got 14 yards on 1st down on a screen pass. When the Packers run a screen pass, we get tackled for loss. Or Jordan Love has to throw it into the ground. When other guys run screen passes against us, it's a huge play. Now, I can't remember. I think this might be a run. This might be that run where Carl Brooks takes off and just goes nuts and just gets out of his gap. I think that's what this is. Yeah, look, he gets back there.
Because he was in there so fast. Oh, my God.
And now, Xavier McKinney attacks this. He's right here. He attacks his hole. Keyshawn's trying to get off the block, but he doesn't.
That's because it's a hold.
And the running back is super good. He's super fast. But watch McKinney at the end of this play. Watch his body language. The leader of the defense. Just watch it. That's not so bad. Maybe it was worse later.
Not so bad. He's tired. He had to run a little bit.
Now, this was the touchdown where they weren't lined up right.
Is that a pick? Okay. It's not. Okay.
No, because this guy gets the ball right here. Because Eric Wilson comes across the field, and you got Quay Walker and Xavier McKinney. Remember earlier when I showed you a touchdown play where there was nobody in the middle of the field?
Yep.
Now they're both standing in the middle of the field, and the receiver just runs a little hitch turnaround right here, and Jared Goff just throws right at him for an easy touchdown. Even though there's 4 guys all around.
What is Quay Walker trying to accomplish there?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
Why? If you want to stop them from getting to the end zone and there's nobody in front of you that could get in the end zone, everybody's behind you, why are you coming up out of the end zone at that point? And
now, I don't know, but we got to watch Xavier McKinney, the leader of the defense. Leader of the defense, Xavier McKinney. Watch his reaction right here. Look at him.
Okay.
Is anybody else demonstrative like that? Now, Rasul did some of that stuff as well last season before they traded him. Now, we can't trade him, obviously.
I don't know what.
All I'm saying is we got a lot of guys who like to stand around in a zone, and they don't cover anybody. Here's a screen, and people are like, oh, McDuffie sucks. Well, he got hit, and the guy went to the inside of him. What are you going to do?
They blitzed everybody off everybody was coming up the field on the other side. They just went away from it. It was a smart call. You had no numbers out there. You're outmanned, outpositioned.
So, yeah, I'm not saying Xavier McKinney stinks. I think he is good. He's good.
Is he?
I think, well, I don't think he's nearly as good as everybody's talking him up to be. Yeah, he got 6 picks or 7 or whatever at the start of the year. But what else has he done? He doesn't really attack. He does when a guy comes anywhere near his zone, he just keeps running backwards.
Yeah.
He doesn't attack. He doesn't visualize and see what's happening in front of him. He just does what the defense is called. Oh, I'm supposed to run back 25 yards and stand here. Okay. Great. And then when you see Jameson Williams coming at you and he breaks to the outside, you're so afraid of it, and you should be because he's way faster than you. that you can't cover him on that outside route.
Okay, Ben.
It just seemed like the Lions, to me, every time the Packers had the middle of the field covered, the Lions attacked the outside with routes. Every time the Packers had the outside covered, the Lions attacked the middle of the field. It's like they knew ahead of time what the heck we were doing, which makes no sense.
So the Packers have played how many games?
I don't know. 11, 12,
13 games.
What's their record? What's their record? I don't remember.
9-4, right? 9-4.
Okay, sure.
9-4. 13 games. Xavier McKinney has been on the field, I think, every snap.
Yeah, more than likely.
He has a total of 70 tackles.
Well, that's pretty good.
Not really. Not in that many games. I bet if I looked at other safeties.
Well,
it actually says he has 46 solo tackles, which a lot of safeties will have solo tackles because generally they're not blocked, which is tied for 69th in the league. He has 0 forced fumbles. He does have the 7 picks.
That's something.
It is something.
But I think they're either doing a disservice having him, like if he's supposed to be a guy who can make plays, why is he back there so far?
Yeah, let him make plays.
He's not near the ball. He doesn't make a play.
Right.
He doesn't do anything. And the other thing I don't like is the cornerback coverage. How many times they play the cover 2 and the corners just sit at 8 yards and they let the receiver run past them and then they sit there and do nothing.
So here's the thing. And you heard this if you watched other games recently, you've heard this before. I think Kirk Herbstreit was saying it during the Packer game, or maybe it was during another game I was watching recently with him as the broadcaster, but saying the idea is, right, for so many defenses and playing this way in defense is we're not going to give up the big plays. We're going to make you work it down the field and think you're either not going to be patient enough or you're going to make mistakes, have penalties, it'll screw up your drive, and then we'll stop you because of that. Right? And that is the way the Packers have played defense for many, many, many years before this one. They weren't playing that way for a while, for most of the first part of the season. But then Matt LaFleur publicly continued to come out and talk about big plays and giving up the big plays. And you got to limit the explosives and blah, 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 blah. The problem, right? The problem with that approach, when you play a good, well-coached, experienced, disciplined team that has quality players, is that it doesn't work because they're not going to screw it up. They're not going to screw up their drive. They're going to just execute, make plays, and be successful with their drive. It'll work against the bad. It's the same old story. It'll work against the bad teams, but when you play the good teams, it ain't going to work. So what does that get you? It gets you more time on the field for your defense. They get more tired out. John was talking about before how those guys look tired and slow on some of those plays. The defensive linemen. Yeah. The longer they got to be out there, the more plays they got to be out there. It wears on them throughout the course of the game. Also, you've got less time for your offense to have the ball. Fewer plays, fewer opportunities, fewer time of possession. It all works against you. Give up a big play. Fine. You get a chance to count. That's the great thing about football. If someone makes a big play and scores on you, you get an opportunity to come right back and see what you can do. All right? This is not make it and take it. This is they make a big play, we get our chance. So, as a fan who has sat through all these years of Packers passive defense and finally thought we were going to be more aggressive this year, and we were for a while until something changed. Maybe it was the bye week, and Matt LaFleur was like, oh, no. We can't give up the big plays. He's talked about it all the time. His whole time in Green Bay, he's talked about explosives, how important explosive plays always lead to points. If you look at the numbers, explosive plays lead to points on that drive. So is he hammering on that to take the aggressiveness away, even though he talks about being aggressive? I don't know, but I don't like it. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. That's what I want to tell the Packers. And if you get beat,
be aggressive.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, whatever. But if you get beat, you get beat. You come back, you play the next down. But I don't want to, as a fan, sit here and watch these long ass drives because you give up this dumbass plays because you're too soft and you won't challenge players. Are you going to play football like you're scared? Why? Why do we have all of these resources, money, picks invested in the defense if we're going to play like we're scared of the other team? I just don't get it. Please stop it. Sorry.
Yeah. And I don't know how to change that. I don't know what they're going to do. I
think I was going to get mad tonight. I wasn't.
I don't really. Well, I didn't. I don't think you were planning on seeing all that crappy freaking defense.
I wasn't. I thought it was better than that.
It was terrible.
It was not good.
The pass defense was terrible.
Here, I just thought Jared Goff was good, but now I see the Packers just made him look good. God,
the guys are wide open all over the place.
What the hell?
It was sad. It was sad.
Yeah.
And I got some plays. I'm not even going to play him. I don't care.
Oh, come on.
No. What? This is Christian Watson catch and the Keyshawn Nixon pick. Everybody knows what they are. We don't need to see him again.
Keyshawn was a great play.
I don't know. I think Jared Goff just threw it to him because he was dumb.
He kind of threw it to him. Yeah, okay. All right.
But I'll say this. McDuffie, Keyshawn, Carl Brooks. And I'll say this a little bit. Van Ness had a couple of decent plays. Now, he can't get pass rush all the time.
Right? He can't pass rush.
At least he's aggressive and trying.
He's pretty good.
That's more than I can say for Stokes and Xavier McKinney and Quay Walker. And it looks like those guys just standing there. So
I'm with you.
Can we? I don't know what's going on with that. You were talking to me the other day. You were like, "Oh, dude, Packers get the Super Bowl, and we got to do this and this." And I'm like, "Dude, Packers get a Super Bowl?
They might still do it.
How?
If Dan Campbell's crazy and goes for it on 4th down his own 30-yard line again, he might give away a game again because he's dumb. I don't want to hear it. That was not a genius call.
You know what's crazy? On that 4th down that the Packers stopped him on, there was 2 guys that missed tackles on that play, and they still stopped him.
Who tackled him, though? Was it Zane? What's his name?
I don't know, but Bullard totally whiffed. Bullard totally whiffed on him, and somebody else whiffed on him.
Must have been Kenny Clark again. Kenny Clark
wasn't out there. That was an outside run. There's no way Kenny Clark got to the outside.
In this game,
there's no way Kenny Clark got to the outside.
Clark was a dominant force.
That was his best game I've seen in about 5 years. Kenny Clark. I'll be honest. But other than that,
I got to tell you, when I started seeing him like move around and make tackles and pursue, I was like, "What the hell's going on?" I'm like, "Did somebody else put on Kenny Clark's jersey? What happened?"
Maybe Mike Daniels is back, and we just didn't know.
I was like, "Did him and Devontae Wyatt switch jerseys for the night?" I didn't know what was up, but then sure enough, it was Kenneth Clark. He either drank from the fountain of youth or drank from the spirit of whatever, I don't know, Aaron Rodgers drinks from or whatever, and just found some extra juice. It was mind-boggling to me.
Yeah. So anyways,
but
that's that, man. That's the game.
We still couldn't count on Jair. I like how people were like, "Oh, well, we didn't have Jair for this game."
I got to be honest. I think Jair couldn't hurt if he was out there. Because at least
I think
Stokes would not be on the field.
But he wouldn't tackle. He wouldn't help.
Doesn't matter. He'd at least sometimes cover a guy. Sometimes.
I don't know about it.
I'm telling you. It was sad to watch. I wasn't even planning on taking any video clips. And then all of a sudden I just spent 6 hours doing it today on my day off.
I drove up to Green Bay today, okay? And there's a whole series of billboards, like Bergstrom Automotive is a big automotive dealer in the Valley in Green Bay. And they bought like this whole stretch of like billboards as you go up Highway 41. So they have like Bergstrom, like all in a row, like 6 or 7 of them. Matt LaFleur's on one. Jordan Love used to be on one. They put similar employee. Aaron Rodgers used to be in a bunch of them. Now he's not. And then they put poor Eric Stokes on one. And I was like,
oh, man.
Based on what? Why are we putting Eric? I mean, he's a nice guy, but what has he done to deserve to be on a billboard? One of the Packer players of 2 Packer players that are on billboards is Eric Stokes. What? The guy was put in an unwinnable position. He should have never been drafted as a first-round pick. Brian Gutekunst made him a first-round pick and set him up for failure. And now, not only is he not going to get a second contract from the Packers, I think he might be out of the league after this, after 4 years.
Yeah. He'll be
all because Brian Gutekunst drafted him like three or 4 rounds too early. If someone drafted that guy in the 4th round, 5th round, he probably would have a chance to still maybe make a team after his rookie contract. But now I don't think he will. Anyway, Todd's here. He saw it. Yowza. Kenny Clark shined.
Why do you got to rub it in? Kenny Clark finally has a good game, but you mentioned it 18,000 times. Okay, my least favorite Packer had a good game on CFP.
I was amazed that I couldn't believe my eyes.
Listen, I got to take a dump. Just like that one guy.
I thought for sure if Kenny Clark was going to play well, the Packers were going to win. I thought for sure. But then you showed me all this garbage that they set themselves up not to win.
Now, let's move on to the Seattle game. Sunday Night Football in Seattle. What?
Geno Smith. Oh, damn it. John, come on.
He's right.
John's also saying that what broom are you talking about, John? Right here? Here? No, this is decoration here. This is decorative sticks.
Decorative sticks, yeah.
Rodgers is a scumbag. Ooh. What do you think about how Rodgers been?
I don't care.
Come on, did you hear it? Did you hear what he said after he was questioned? Or it wasn't even questioned. Just pointed out the fact that the Jets now officially eliminated from the playoffs. 14-year drought from the playoffs. How do you feel about that, or whatever? Or what do you think about it? Did you get his response? His quoted response?
Yeah, he said he's only been here a year or something, even though he's there for 2 years.
I've only started for 1 year, so I mean, I guess just this, it's disappointing. This 1 year, but this is the same guy who came in. Oh, that Lombardi looks lonely over there, and I'm here to da. Yeah, they're gonna ask you that, you dipshit, and you should suck it. What a piece of garbage! God, I'm glad he's gone. Okay,
Yes.
I can't throw it out, John. These are decorative sticks. You know how much that costs?
Yeah, decorative sticks.
It's not like we picked them from the yard. You had to buy these sticks from somewhere. I don't know who got them for us. Anyway, don't worry about it. Actually, I was thinking of wearing that as like a wig. All right, you want to talk about Geno Smith?
No, I don't.
The Seahawks. Well, the Packers showed they can stop Kenneth Walker with our own Walker. It'll be Walker on Walker in this upcoming game.
I have no faith anymore after watching this tape.
Weird. They're not good.
It doesn't matter.
Packers will beat them. They're not good. Packers are going to go to 10-4. Look, there's no way the Packers miss the playoffs right now.
There's a slight chance.
No way. So when you have no way the Packers miss the playoffs, what are your realistic hopes, expectations for this team? Because they're going to be in the playoffs. They're probably going to be the 6th seed in the playoffs. Right? So what does that mean? That means they play the 3 seed in the first round, right?
I thought that if they got the Seahawks in the first round, they'd be in good shape. And now I don't know anymore. Now I'm scared.
I'd rather see him play the Seahawks than the Buccaneers in the first round.
Yeah, because
Baker will Baker him.
Because Baker is the opposite of Jordan Love. He ain't afraid to throw it anywhere. Jordan Love needs to stop being a chicken shit and start throwing the damn ball. Agreed. And he needs to hit guys that are open. Hit your back foot, throw the damn ball. Guys are open, throw it to them. Yeah, they might drop it. A lot of these guys are dropping balls. But that's what you got to do.
Got to throw it.
You can't expect, to hold on the ball for a million years like Aaron Rodgers used to do. Because guess what? No offense, Jordan Love. You can't escape like Jordan Love, like Aaron Rodgers used to do. You escape like Aaron Rodgers now. It's not good.
Oh no! All right, before I let you go, though, I know you got to poop, but before I let you go,
I
Vikings
got
are
to take a
11.
dump.
The Vikings are 11-2.
Yeah, they
The
got Aaron
Vikings.
Jones.
No one talks about it, and the Vikings are 11-2.
They got Aaron Jones, man.
Like, what if the Vikings accidentally win the North? What the hell?
They won't. They won't win the North.
They won't? Okay.
Mm-mm.
Damn.
Lions are getting every call under the sun.
So the Vikings are going to be a 5 seed.
Mm-hmm.
He could lose to Tampa Bay, right? Tampa Bay is a wild card. They're just a wild.
I mean, I feel bad for Mo because if the Vikings have to go and play Tampa in the first round, they will lose.
No,
They will get bakered, and Mo will have to eat crow.
with as much as he talk crap about Baker.
Mo talks shit about Baker all the time. And I don't even like Baker Mayfield, but Mo hates him so much that he forces me to like him.
I kind of like him though, just the way he plays.
Well, he's got some Brett Favre in him.
I know, but also the way he is, he's just like, I'm just out here playing football. Like I'm not going to worry about all the crap.
I would rather have Baker Mayfield and then Jordan Love as my starting quarterback right now. Just saying.
Agreed. Plus, he's way cheaper.
He's way cheaper, and he's just he's not afraid.
Yep.
He's not afraid. The guy's got moxie. The guy's got the it factor. Jordan Love doesn't have the it factor. He's just a guy. He just is a guy.
We do have to give Jordan Love a little love. It was confirmed. He's hopefully on his way to becoming a dad. So that's good for him. Girlfriend is a couple months pregnant, was announced this last week.
Okay, well, that's
good for Jordan Love.
At least he won't be a 41-year-old weirdo with no kids and no wife like Aaron Rodgers. That's good.
Oh, John wants his boy Malik back. Malik, what if Jordan Love gets hurt before the playoffs and Malik Willis is our quarterback in the playoffs?
Then we win. Then we win
all the way to the Super Bowl? Holy shit. We beat the Lions in Detroit?
Yeah.
We beat the Eagles in Philadelphia?
We definitely beat the Eagles.
Yeah, we could beat the Eagles. That would be good. I think Malik Willis could definitely beat the Eagles.
Yeah, I think Malik Willis could beat the Eagles. I don't know about the Lions, but for sure the Eagles. Because
he just freaking run.
Yeah, you just run the ball on them because the Eagles play that dumb wide nine, and they have a lot of freaking gaps that you can just hit.
Damn, look at John. He's all over his guy Malik. Jordan gets hurt this week. And he goes on, Jordan Love. Oh, got pregnant. Okay, he appreciates that. But then he says, Mr. Willis is amazing. Malik runs for 100, passes for 300. Holy shit. John, you are. Whoo. John, you might be a bigger fan of Malik Willis than you are of us. And that's saying something.
Oh, I should hope so. We're not that good.
Malik brought the energy that he did. He's an awesome guy. Awesome guy. And the Packers, I think, are glad to have him on the team. Like you even pointed out, the reactions from the locker room when Malik Willis got recognized, pretty damn cool. So we'll see how it all plays out. I don't know. I am not that worried about the Seahawks because they'll still screw shit up. They're still the Seahawks, dude. And Geno Smith is still Geno Smith. But the one thing, when I reflected on everything that happened in the last week, I just kind of wonder if the Jets brass were like, maybe we should have given Sam Darnold a second chance. And I know their fans would have killed him for signing Sam Darnold back, but what if he played like this? First of all, they wouldn't have Devontae Adams. They wouldn't have Allen Lazard anymore. Garrett Wilson would be getting balls down the field instead of the dumb crap Aaron Rodgers tells him to run. Might be better.
I don't know. I don't care about the Jets.
I'm just saying, what a story that would have been. Give Sam Darnold the second chance of the Jets, and then he made him better, did better than Aaron Rodgers. Would have been fun. All right. Damn it. John wants to steal Malik away from us. No, John. You have Josh Allen.
You can't. He's still under contract for next year with us.
Ha!
He will be a Packer next year.
Ha! Malik Willis, Packer. Good. All right. Well, I think the Packers will handle it. Do you know how close? Remember my score prediction from last week?
No, I don't ever listen to you.
34-31. Except I thought the Packers would win, not the Lions would win.
Oh, what was the score of the game? I can't remember.
34-31.
Oh, I don't remember.
That's why you listen to the show, because I get it right except backwards.
Should have been 35-34, but we got screwed by the refs.
Screwed by the refs. Lee talks about it.
Christian Watson did not freaking have
that
an
was
offensive
that
pass
was a
interference.
Super Bowl. Yeah, that was Super Bowl crap.
That was
the one that hurt the most.
That was the one that was ridiculous.
I did also want to see Zadarius get flagged for hitting Jordan Love in the head because it was way late and dumb, and like he had no business even being around him.
Jordan Love got hit late a lot in that game, actually.
I know.
Like the ball was gone, guys taking 2 steps and smacking him, and they didn't call nothing. But he's not a star. That just proves he's no Joe Burrow.
Come on, man.
He's no Justin, and he's no Justin Herbert. He ain't getting the calls like those guys. He drafted in the same draft. He ain't no Lamar Jackson.
No Patty Mahomes.
Well, yeah, of course he's not Patty Mahomes, but I'm just saying all the other guys drafted in his draft class get all the calls. Tua Tagovailoa gets calls because otherwise he'll get a concussion and get knocked out of the game for 5 weeks. So they got to call penalties when they touch him. Jordan Love gets smacked after the whistle. Nothing. Throws the ball. Guy takes 2 steps, punches him in the head. Nothing.
Man, even when that guy's a cast-off, Zadarius Smith.
Zadarius, he made his one play.
Crawling on the ground right away.
Good old Zadarius. There was a time we liked Zadarius. And then...
John's calling for the Chiefs to lose to the Browns. I like it.
They might, because... Like Jameis Winston is just crazy, so you never know.
He's crazy, and he asked God to deliver him from pick sixes.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe God will do it. We'll see.
I don't know.
John's calling 38-17 Browns. I'm saying
the Chiefs don't score more than 17 points usually. 17, 20 points is all they can ever score. So
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how they're winning these games. Or gifting these games, whatever it is.
They won that game against the Chargers fair and square the other night. There wasn't any cheap stuff. It's just
I didn't watch the whole thing.
I watched the whole thing.
How did they win again on a late field goal, 19-17? Like,
because he was dead to rights, and he made the guy miss and then threw it. Like he should have been sacked, and the guy was just too aggressive, and he just kind of scooted away for a little bit, and then, and that was that. In the field goal range, kick field goal win. Doinky doink doink off the freaking uprights in. They're the only team that gets the doink in. Most guys get the doink out. But what are you gonna do?
That's Chiefs magic. All right, I'm saying Packers win 35-24 in this game.
Yikes!
They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
I hope they play better. I want to see Jordan Love throw the ball when guys are open. Like he hit, like the first play I showed today, he looked awesome. Let's do stuff like that.
I'm also going to
I think when he thinks too much. I think he thinks too much. He's like looking at the defense and he's just like, I don't know. Just play the game, dude. Hit your back foot, let it go.
Right? That's usually what works out best.
Like the big pass to Christian Watson, that's what he did. He didn't screw around. Because the other thing, there's a Wixon coming across the crossing route. He was open too. But he was like, screw it, I'm going deep. And he just did. And Watson had his guy beat. Big freaking huge play right at the start of the second half. It was awesome.
I'm also going to say that the Packers understand that Emmanuel Wilson needs to get probably like 10 carries.
Yeah.
And he'll if he does get 10 carries, I think he's going to break one for a touchdown.
It'd be nice.
That's my wild one. All right. Be good, guys. Stay good. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy. That's a Sunday nighter. So we'll have some time to digest the day of football before we get to that. Peace out. Thanks for being here, John, Lee, William G. Anybody else that showed up, appreciate you. Be good, stay good, and go Pack Go.